All right, let's see if we can get this chat and this stream popping off. It's last minute. We were never supposed to do something like this. This was never going to happen. But like, listen, this has been such a wild ride. I've got my Magic video scheduled for tomorrow, and I feel like I just must talk about the Lorcana secondary market. It's what a wild ride. What an insane time. Let's see. Let's get everyone popping in. Tell everyone as you jump in, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully, let me know as we dial in audio on the last second stream how everyone's doing today. Make sure you let us know how the stream quality is. Make sure everything is coming through nice and clear, because we are setting this up very last minute. Super last minute, because it's going that nuts. I think we have to talk about it. And I just can't wait. I'll be honest with you guys. I cannot wait. Clear as a bell. Devin, what up? OG always around the stream. Devin, what is going on? Scruffy, I can see the beard nice and clear. Listen, Scruffy, ever since the first beard burn, you have been nothing but kind about the facial hair structure, and it's greatly appreciated. I really appreciate that about you, dude. Also, loving the content. If you're here, if you're an early adopter of this Lorcana stream and you're tuning in, make sure you check out Scruffy Looking Gaming. Fun YouTube channel. Definitely a friend of this stream here. Thank you all for hanging out. As we got a couple of people popping in, for those who haven't followed along, the Lorcana secondary market is going nuts. I have a wild announcement to make. I am seeing if we can get a couple concurrent viewers in here as we start to pop off. So if you haven't yet, share this video with any friends that you think should watch this content, that you think would be interested in the discussion, because we have so much to talk about when it comes to the Disney trading card game. I played my first game. As people are popping in, it's time to talk about the game. I know those who have followed this channel, if you're subbed and you followed this channel for a while, you know I got my first game in with the wife. My wife, notoriously, I don't want to say against trading card games, but she's against trading card games. Trading card games just not her jam. And we played Lorcana. We got through 2 games. She's like, I think I want to play a third. We jammed a third game, and then she's like, I think we should do this again. I was like, this is a win. This was a win. What an amazing moment just in my life as a human being. Incredible moment for me. Top moment for me. So I got to tell each and every one of you as you tune in, my Lorcana experience has been fantastic. With that being said, it's not all gravy in the Navy. Some of these songs we have seen sung before, if you know what I'm saying. As we fill up the stream and people pop in, we're starting a little late. Let's show off some of the gems I pulled on stream with my wife here. Someone was pointing out casual bell pull in the box opening with my wife. Casual bell pull. No enchanted. Nothing enchanted. The card that I like, listen, it's not about value. It's kind of about my love for the Lion King, maybe a little bit. We pulled the foil Be Prepared. Oh, I was a happy camper. As we pour in, Josh Smith, hey, what's up? Devin, thank you. Scruffy, wish they would have held onto their 4 boxes. Listen, it's about more than the secondary market, my friend. As we jump in, John Henson sells out. Keith Foster, LGS are still waiting on booster boxes. Make sure you pop in and we will talk. We've got a lot to talk about today as you guys pop into chat. Let's get chat popping on screen. Let's see if we can get this going. Yes, like I'm hyped for Lorcana. Says, yeah, 360. Welcome to the stream. Like I said, we got so much to talk about. Let's make sure we're set up correctly. I think I have TCG Player pulled up because we have to talk about the secondary market and what I think is going on. I was going to make a video about this. I'm still going to make, as you guys know, I track sales data. I track every single sold listing of sealed product on TCG Player when it comes to major TCG releases that I like to follow, and Lorcana is popping off even at these prices. So let me know, again, do you have, as I configure the TCG player so you guys can all see it, we can start this conversation. Let me know your Lorcana experience in chat. If you haven't, make sure you click that like button. It helps spread the stream to more potential viewers, helps grow our community, and get our conversation going, because that is what we like in this community. We like when our conversation pops off. So let me know your Lorcana experience in chat, and I'm going to go pop out over here and see what we have to do about this. Here, let's go. We're going to bring up the TCG Player Lorcana window. Why is this not visible? Make you visible. Haha, you are visible. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, TCG Player. I knew you were afraid of me and you were willing to be visible. Listen, everyone knows TCG Player and its data are afraid of me at this point, and they should be. Let's get one thing straight. They absolutely should be, because I chase down any piece of data I can get my hands on. We don't have, for some reason, we got the chat box popping in and out. It doesn't seem to be working. Let's see if we can hide the chat box, make the chat box visible. All right, we got you guys. We got live chat popping through. We got Lorcana sales information, and we got Lorcana prices to talk about. What a wild ride. To take a second to answer some of your guys in chat. Sunday Live, is this new? Nick, it is impromptu. Last minute, we're going live to talk about some Lorcana craziness going on. Yeah, 360 says, my major worry was long-term Lorcana. Even when supply comes back, a lot of new players are going to be scammed by people weighing packs and putting in bad packs. We're going to talk about that in the stream today. Yeah, 360. Hold on to that thought. Bradley, these prices, wow, baby, you're telling me. MTG Gaming Bob, no joke. I wanted to open a Cruella pre-con today. Wanted all 3 decks to take to a friend's. My fiance pulled in chant. Oh, from the single pack. That's a heck of a pull. So as we just welcome, if you haven't been to the stream yet, again, welcome to Hometown TCG. We do a lot of fun stuff here. I like to think I'm a fan, but you know, in all fairness, I'm probably a bit biased, seeing as if it is my YouTube channel. I love to cover trading card game information, trading card game sales, and the games that I love, and Lorcana is quickly becoming one of those. So I want everybody to remember in the subtext of this chat today, as we get a little bit real with things, I am a Lorcana fan. I'm a Disney Lorcana fan. I'm a Disney Lorcana adopter. I'm a believer. I love playing the game. Me and my wife have had so much fun. Our box opening was one of my most magical experiences ever on YouTube. That being said, it's important to note, in my opinion, my humble opinion as someone who's been around trading card games for the better part of 20 years now, Disney Lorcana is not in for all sunshine and rainbows. And that is okay. That's okay. So everybody, before you yell at me, that's okay. What I mean by that is, in my opinion, Ravensburger, during the production of the game, made a ton of mistakes that regular TCG enthusiasts, people like me that play a bunch of games, collect sealed product for fun and to open later in their life, collect singles, put cards on shelves, things like that, and play trading card games almost every night. These are things that regular enthusiasts like us are going to look at and be like, oh, this is a deal breaker. But the thing that we must keep in the back of our mind during this discussion, during we talking about Lorcana prices, Lorcana sales, Lorcana allocations, all of that stuff, what we have to keep in the back of our mind is that this product is just not for us. It's just not made with us as the primary consumer in mind, which as trading card game hardcore players, collectors, enthusiasts, however we identify, is weird for us. That is weird for us. This product is going to go to such a wider audience than you and I. It's still important to talk about the things that make a good and successful trading card game, because hey, let's face it, we've been around for a while, we know best, but these are the things we need to consider. So Nick likes it. Gate Guardian, new viewer. I've never seen you, Gate Guardian, the stream. Welcome to the stream. Josh missed it. Of all the LGS around me, either did not get allocated or on the hook for too much Magic and Pokemon to product to buy any. That's a problem. Like, Lorcana is going to start fighting for some of this space, and I think they're fighting for some of that printer space. Again, something to talk about today. MTG Gaming Bob, fiance's crazy lucky. Oh yeah, with the Enchanted Elsa. Congrats to the poll. Scruffling Game of Draft would be insanely fun. We never know. Set 2 is on the way. But let's look at Lorcana prices. It's time. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. If you haven't yet, make sure you like the stream so I can read chat as we go through this. Again, it helps spread the stream to more viewers, but it's time to talk about Lorcana prices. And we are going to start, as we often do on this channel, and as we evaluate like a new trading card game. Most people that want to buy the trading card game, I know, buy singles, only buy singles, what are we doing? Like, as we evaluate a new trading card game, especially something like Lorcana, most people are going to buy the sealed product. They're going to go to Target, Walmart, maybe stumble into a hobbyist store in LGS and buy some sealed product, or for their nephew, their nieces, their daughter, their son, whatever it might be, they're going to buy sealed product. So you can't just scream buy singles into the ether. We have to talk about the sealed product. When we talk about the sealed product, I would consider, and the sales data would confirm, that the leader is the Lorcana booster box. This Lorcana booster box, and hold on. This graph tells you everything. Whoa, hold on. Let's take a pause. Nick has joined the channel membership for $5 a month. Nick got access to exclusive content, custom emotes, and channel badges. Nick, welcome to the homies. And let's play that back one more time because I got an excuse to use Revenge of the Nerds stuff here. And listen, Revenge of the Nerds is always fun and always cool. But the Lorcana booster box just climbing in price is something that, frankly, I didn't see coming. I assumed this box would come out. There would be, again, going to be scalpers in any new trading card game. Things are going to go to the moon. But then there's going to be a reality check, which is still coming. Keep that in mind. But this box continuing to go up at this point while it's not sealed, which, by the way, goes in the mistake market. It's okay to make mistakes, but this does go in the mistake category for Ravensburger, not sealing this box completely. And listen, this is so hard. Okay. Ravensburger claimed that it was because of the environment. And do you see what they did there? They made it impossible for me to argue against it. What am I going to say? Forget the environment. Like, no, of course we want the environment. We want things that are good for the environment. I can't, argue against that. What is this? But it's fair to say, not sealing the box, not great. Wish they would have done it. But the Lorcana booster box climbing in price is something I didn't see coming. But the biggest surprise that I should have seen coming, and I didn't, I'll openly admit, is the idea that the booster case is climbing faster than the booster box. It's currently a box of 4 boosters is rapidly outpacing the regular booster box. And I'll give you guys a second to answer this question. Why? Why would that be? Why would there be this extreme premium on a booster case over a booster box? Why would that be a thing? Well, I'll let you know, and I'll let you answer the question. What do you think? Why do you think there's an extreme premium? But let's keep that in our mind as we talk about this, because the booster case is outpacing the booster box. But it also lets us light, and again, it's important, let's just highlight the product before we talk about, the total prices and why they're going up, that there is an ETB model here, as I'm calling it, in the Trove, right? The Illumineers Trove, which gives you a couple booster packs, some cool things, and it's not as entrenched as the Pokemon ETB, but it's still a really cool product. And what this realistically should be at a normal price point is a good way for someone to get a couple packs and get things that they want in their hands. So these are kind of the overview of the 3 products, and there's the gift set that I'm also tracking in our sales data. We'll talk about the gift set in a second. But these are the products that have both surprised me and affected the market the most. But let's go back and let's focus on that booster case. And I want to see what you guys had. Dope, you're right. Case is sealed. That's right. 100%. Whoever said, let's see. Bradley Cohen with you. I'm also not surprised. Such a rookie mistake. Ooh, hold on. Who made a rookie mistake? Let's go. Buy Singles says the most enchanted crazy hype fans ever. There's no bigger fan than a Disney fan. Yeah, 360. I'm down. Yes, I agree. Yes, so Scruffy Looking Gaming, not surprising. Listen, amazing YouTuber gets the answer right. Scruffy Looking Gaming says because the case is sealed. And as we talked about the last time I went full screen with all of you, I said, hey, not great, right? Not great that these boxes aren't sealed, that you can sneak that hand in there and pull out some packs. The fact that the case is sealed is what's going to create this idea of a premium. Now, are there case hits? Are there not? I don't know if there's enough people opening full sealed cases to figure that part out yet. But if that is the case, on top of on top of the sealed value, the fact that it's hard to get into, we could have ourselves a real case situation, something like you see with something akin to Flesh and Blood, right? Where your booster cases hold a premium because of this case hit. So yeah, you guys are spot on there. But what do you guys think about the major Lorcana products? So we've gone over the prices. We're going to talk about, kind of wins and failures here in a second. But this is a live stream. This isn't just a video where I rant. I want to get your guys' thoughts on the booster cases. Keith Foster LGS owner says probably some ultra rares are roughly 1 per case, unlikely to be in a box. Maybe that's the idea of those case hits, and that possibly could be, kind of what we're looking at. I was able to pick up a box locally for $250 and sold it the same day for $419. Holy moly. Jeez Louise. Scruffy, that's not a confirmed case hit. I opened a full case and not a hidden enchant. Okay, totally. So, Scruffy talking about kind of the case hit still, totally down for that. 34 folks here. Sunday night people have some more free time for, like, listen, I do Friday morning magic every Friday morning. If you're here, if you're lurking, make sure you're subbed. We do a ton of live streams, a lot of fun content. Listen, I'm a little biased. I think the channel is fun. I think some of this information can be a little bit juicy, but other people might not. But it's time to talk about what this means for Lorcana overall when it comes to a sealed product perspective. And I believe that there is, and this is the clippable moment. If you're ready, this is the clippable moment. There's imminent danger for Lorcana product if you are a TCG enthusiast like me, like the podcast that I'm on, the Kitchen Table TCG podcast. May the zoo be with you. There is imminent danger ahead for Lorcana. And I say this as a fan. I opened the stream with this. I let you guys know. This is a fan talking about these things. I am high on Lorcana. I love playing Lorcana. It's given me a chance to connect with my wife when it comes to my hobby. I love this game. But it's important to note, there's danger. There's danger on the horizon, Will Robinson. What I mean by this is these prices are not healthy for a new TCG looking to grow or anything looking to expand or reach as wide as Disney Lorcana is. Take the first chapter booster box, as we have said. I've made several claims that, hey, Ravensburger's going to get this print thing figured out. By holidays, it'll be sitting at MSRP and people will be able to get cards aplenty and it'll just go from there. I no longer know if that is the case. In fairness, this booster box, as we have the announcement, a couple spoilers for set 2, might continue to hold a premium, hold a high price, and that to me is not a win. Most of the time when we see a trading card game product hit the market and it holds this high price, we're like, oh, that's a win, everybody wants it. But in my opinion, it's a win because you can't get your hands, or it's not a win because you can't get your hands on this product. It was something like Lorcana that's going to speak to the nieces and nephews, daughters and sons of the world, and even to the fathers, mothers, grandparents, aunts and uncles, or people looking to pick up gifts, people looking to share their hobbies or their love. If they're Magic fans, if they're Pokemon fans, Yu-Gi-Oh fans, whatever it might be, you could find yourself in a bit of a rut and maybe get a little bit down on the game. So I have chalked this up, and I will talk about failure number 2. Failure number 1, no sealed box. Ravensburger, checkmark, did not pass that portion of the test. That needs to be fixed, in my opinion. Failure number 2, and this is where I get a lot of pushback from every single community. I fault Ravensburger for not properly or more closely estimating their demand. I give them credit. There's no way they could have guessed for sure how hard this was going to hit. And I don't expect any game company, no matter how big, how small, to hit their demand on a nose. Listen, if Pokemon and Magic can't do it, most other games can't do it either. Spoiler alert. But Ravensburger missed by a mile. They weren't close. They were so far off. It was wild. And I'm not an expert. I don't work in the TCG industry. I'm just a fan who has a 9-to-5 and a family and runs a YouTube channel. But I expect people to get a bit closer than Ravensburger got, and they didn't. And it's because of that, again, in fairness, if we're doing a fairness report card as a fan, that's a check mark, and we need to do, let's not call it failure. Let's call it, you need to do better. And for that reason, I don't know if we see these box prices going to the moon, crashing anytime soon, but I think we're in for a bumpy road whichever way they travel. Now, if I have an opinion, and before I turn to you, I'm going to ask you, I want to know what you think about the box prices, positive, negative, the future of the box prices. Let me know in the comment section right now, because after I get this point out, it's time to take a look at your guys' points and see what you think. But if I were to guess, if I were to have my happy world, I want this first set readily available. I want these box prices to go down, and I'm okay with that. And I know everyone will freak out. When these box prices go down, make sure you're subscribed, because mark my words, people will rush to this channel and tell me, ha, the new game you love is crashing and I told you so. Listen, that means the game is coming down to earth. Cards are getting into people's hands. They're readily available, and people can experience the things that I want them to experience, what I think needs to be experienced to grow the game long term. And I will just bear the brunt of the I told you so's and the massive ha-has just to point that out. But I want to talk to you guys. It's time. Let's hear your take on the Lorcana box prices. Let's take a look at what you guys got to say. Bradley Coe says it has to be pointed out or sorted out before Christmas. I don't know if there's enough time, and the rumor is that Ravensburger is fighting with some very popular card games for print space. One of those might be Magic the Gathering, you know, the biggest card game in the universe. So that could be tough. Scruffy says, absolutely, I've opened over 100 packs without one. Oh, okay, I'm replying to MTG Gaming Pop. Oh, 2 enchanted and 9 random packs. Good lord. Yes, says I'd love to buy a case, but knowing now how much demand Lorcana is now expecting, I see it's being printed as much as Pokemon, and we just talked about that. I think that would be a good thing. Scruffy says supposedly there's a restock coming in October. Yes, but Scruffy, just with our experience in the trading card game world, how much do you think they can really get printed by then? How much do you think they can really get out? Can they satiate the insane demand? Does this bring the price to a reasonable level? Or does it just kind of sprinkle in a couple more boxes in the market? There's a run on those and, you know, GG, go next. I don't know what it could be. So let's keep looking. Yoko, I'm not going to try to do anything shady. I want to see my buyers happy. They got good hits. Yoko, I believe, is a local game store owner, is a present in almost every single hometown TCG live stream. So big shout out there and always doing the right thing. Keith says, I'm concerned about how much my distributors are pushing stores to join the organized play before I have the main product. Now, again, that's another reason. Like, you can't join the OP programs. You can't get people in for constant games or things of that nature without some of this stuff on your shelves. And as a local game store owner, you get faulted for this all the time, but it is your job to sell product. That's what you are meant to do. And if you're selling product, that's a good thing. Nick said these are big misses. Big agree. See, look at that. Channel member coming through clutch. Anyone who has spent time in business finance part of TCGs would have advised the shrink wrap, security wrap, as well as the print number. This is rookie stuff, hence Rudy staying away. That's an interesting point. Nick, remind me to talk before we leave the stream today about Rudy staying away, because that's one of the most interesting experiments with a brand new TCG that I'm excited to see in this world. For those who don't know what Rudy is, like, listen, that's okay. You don't have to. Agility? Is it agility? I'm not sure. Listen, I am horrible with names. This is why I suck at box opening. Agility says, some exec probably decided poorly to release instead of waiting to print more and match the demand. Yes, but a delay is not great either. Look at Sorcery recently, kind of building the community up a bit and then kind of having to delay. And it's not the end of the world. I'm not saying like, oh, Sorcery made this massive mistake. I'm not saying that, but it is a negative. It puts a damper on the release. So, you know, you got to pick your poison there a little bit, in my opinion. Bradley Coe said it won't be enough. I still think we would all agree on that. I agree. James, I've never seen James Sorensen on the stream before, so welcome, James. I think that it was under the estimate of how much they needed printed, but also they need to talk to big stores and LGSs that it would probably be better to grow the community. Yes, I do think they need to do that, but like, they could have put out any number of questionnaires. And a good friend of mine, George, owner of Compete Sport, who I am on a podcast with every Friday morning over at Kitchen Table TCG, pointed out like, hey, what would you have said if they asked you before this? How many boxes do you want? Everyone would have said 10 million. Are they supposed to then print 400 million boxes? Like, there is a point to that, but someone needs to rein in that assumption. Jardry, never seen on the stream. Welcome, Jardry. Next set November, reprint early of next year. First reprint early of next year. I believe there's a reprint coming in October. But yes, I love the idea that the sets are flowing. I like that. I like that we're going to get something new to chew on. I think that's a big win. MTG Gaming Bob, I truly believe Lorcana has not even begun. I think this ride is just starting. Here's the question. Does Lorcana crack the big 3 or big 4? There's really only a big 3. I'm not going to make it a big 4. I'm not softballing this in for Lorcana. Does Lorcana crack the big 3 by this time next year? That's an interesting question. Bradley says, are we getting new players or collectors, do you think? And does that matter? Now, I believe we're getting a ton of new players. That'll be the next conversation. Yes, said they're going to build the community ASAP, especially with those promo cards. I want the Three Musketeers. Mickey, those promo cards are dope. And Yoko says, roosting away because he's a long-term holder, no reason to buy at inflated prices. If he can't get a large enough amount at a good price, it doesn't fit his particular business model. That's totally fair. But we just had a comment about new players, and this is worth talking about. I did a video on this channel about Pixelborn, the secondary market fan-made client, not supported by Ravensburger at all, client for playing and deck building with Disney Lorcana. And by the way, this client is awesome. It is really, really cool. I'm a major fan. And the stats came out. There are over 30,000 unique players and 100,000 plus games of Lorcana played weekly. If those numbers are not staggering to you, I don't know what numbers I could give you that aren't. Those numbers are insane figures. The number of people getting involved in this trading card game is massive, and that is a huge win. The question about Lorcana was always going to be, is it going to follow the Pokemon model? Are people going to collect their cards? Are they going to give it a chance and play it? And after playing a couple games with my wife, I can tell you, again, entrenched TCG enthusiast, I play modern Magic the Gathering on Magic Online almost every single day at this point in my life, because that's the only time with a new kiddo who's about to be 1 year old, a full-time job, taking care of my family, I can't get to the LGS as much as I'd want to, but I can play on Magic Online, and there's so much interaction, it's so deep, there's so many levels, and, you know, right now, the starter decks for Lorcana, spoiler alert, aren't that. They're not supposed to be. They're starter decks. But it is a fan-friendly game. There's a lot of familiar muscle memory experiences with it, and it's really easy to pick up. My wife never touched TCG, played 3 games, was able to play, and kicked my behind one of those games. So do I think people are playing this game? Yes, in great numbers. Now, that needs to be converted to paper play. You can't convert every player to a paper player. Like, it's so much easier to sit behind your keyboard and just, like, play a game, but the interest is there, and the games are continuing. People aren't playing 1 game and calling it quits, 2 games and calling it quits. They're coming back. Hundreds of thousands of games weekly. So the interest in play is there, and it's going to hit the nail on the head because it's going to do what Magic does really well. It's going to draw that casual community and be a really fun gameplay experience for a lot of these people that are looking to get into either their first TCG or have a second supplementary trading card game to play. Bradley Coe says, that's impressive. Those numbers are nuts. MTG Gaming Bob says, Lorcana does not need Rudy approval to become a smashing success. It does not, and that is worth discussing for sure. Benjamin, are you PSA grading your Enchanted? I love this. Like, I don't have an Enchanted yet. I haven't opened an Enchanted yet. I don't have any, and they're so expensive on the secondary market. I truly believe they have to get this print run stuff figured out, so I'm not YOLOing in myself, but I would. I think PSA... I like PSA grading for things that go beyond multiple communities, like the One Ring, things like sports card, things like these Lorcana cards. I like it for that, but I am not a grading expert. I've only bought graded cards. I've never set anything in yet myself to be graded. I've only bought and sold and kind of collected and turned over some graded cards. I've never bought my own. Agility, again, I think I'm saying your name right. I think a large portion of people trying to play are excited that there's only 200-ish cards, but at the time you get set 1, there's already set 2, and that's a big bummer. Maybe, but the only 200 cards is a great point, in my opinion. I think it definitely feels way more accessible and something you get into. Scruffy said, glad Rudy's staying away from Lorcana. Get Rudy out of here. Kaseki Necro, I believe, Kaseki, are you a long-time subscriber of the channel? Did you used to be around back in the day? I recognize the name. This isn't fab that no one knows about when it starts. 100%. Now, I do think there's a effect on Flesh and Blood in the secondary market, as well as Sorcery and even Magic the Gathering. So there's something to do. James, Keith, the problem here is the new players are trying to find the product. It's hard. If you are wanting to do this at a competitive level, it's hard to get our hands on a price that is more reasonable. Yes, like, it's going to be hard to play competitively right now, 100%, because Ravensburger vastly underprinted that product and didn't estimate the demand properly. Competitive might be out, but, like, listen, I can attest, sleeving up the starter decks. They're upstairs right now. I just have kind of the pulls from the booster box and some sorted cards next to me, but the decks are upstairs, and they are fun to play. It is a blast. Kazeki says it's Disney and a starter deck will always be their Christmas gift for kids. Any word about the initial interest portion? 100%. Boom, nail in the head. MTG Gaming said, I don't grade any cards. Won't grade either Enchanted or any of our 4 promo makers from Gen Con. I want to be able to sleeve and play with the cards I own. Ooh, you and me did. I like to grade cards. I think cards, but listen, I'm biased. I like cards on shelves. I think look cool, but yes, I love to be able to grade cards, and that's why I think grading cards that you can play in Commander is really neat. But let's talk about singles. We're talking a lot about single cards. Let's move on to the Lorcana Singles secondary market. And again, this is going to reflect my feelings as not only a fan of Lorcana, but as someone who has been around trading card games for a long time. And actually, hold on. Whoa. At the risk of losing viewership, I think it's time for an ad break. Guys, if you are liking the stream, if you want access to exclusive content, custom emotes, and channel badges, make sure you check that mystery link that I have pinned. I think it's over there to join channel memberships. $5 a month is all it takes. You join the channel membership, you get access to all the things I talked before, and it helps support the channel, build extra streaming setups, and kind of buy me a coffee here and there when I go to do my Friday Morning Magic live stream. So again, click that link if you want to learn more, and I thank you for giving it the attention. But hey, if that's the only ad break we have in the stream, that ain't half bad, right? Like, that ain't bad. Let's go. MTG Gaming, oh my gosh. Says, I challenge you to a live stream Lorcana game spell table pre-con. Like, listen, I am down to play. We have to find a time in my schedule when I can play. I am down, but this super chat, thank you so much, MTG Gaming Bob. Listen, email me, remind me of this challenge. We will get it done. I could probably find time for a game here or there. Yeah, 360. I haven't seen the foils for the alternate arts. How good are they? Are they the standard or something special? They are the alternate arts. If you mean the enchanted, they are really cool looking. Shout out the big homie Louis. Over 10K subs now. Louis is crushing it over there. He pulled enchanted. It looked really good. He also didn't know what it was. Rudy can't get deals for buying products with the distributors. Are probably getting a pallet for $500. Take him down. But hey, no rooting against me on my own channel. Like, stop that, chat. Don't root against me. Let's talk Lorcana single cards. Let's get the sealed product out of here, and let's kind of take a look at what's going on with the secondary market. Now, if you've been around since the old Flesh and Blood days in the indie trading card games, or if you have followed my journey at all, as I collect just double digits of the Giant Shark Alpha foil from Sorcery, you know that trading card game communities can be a volatile place in their early days, and Lorcana is no exception. But if you said you would have predicted these prices, you're lying. You're lying. I don't know if anyone could have predicted this, and I might know the person who is the most excited about Lorcana of all time. Nobody could have predicted these prices. We see Elsa and things like Aladdin experiencing what were called buyouts. What happens here is that people go in, and with Lorcana, when there's only 7 listings for the Elsa trading card, with only 7 listings, hey, that might be $7,000 to buy out this entire card. Let's call it $9,000. And to me, that's a lot of money. That's money I can't afford to spend buying out a trading card. But for people who have a little bit of money, when you consider the size of other trading card games, for an investment or a chance to get on the ground floor of something that might explode, or buy it all out and the chance to then pump the market or set their own price on the secondary market, listen, that's not that much money for the people like that. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen because not everybody has the growth of the game in mind. Everyone's not all about how many people can get product in their hands. Some people are looking to make a buck. These things, as a fan, let's accept the fact that they are going to happen. But with that comes some major problems. We look, Aladdin, just the other day, the card that I just brought up, was on the secondary market, and the only copies available were $900. Somebody bought them all up, and the rest of the community saw that and went, oh, well, if they're $900, I'm definitely listing my Aladdins. So we see a little bit of that turnover here and a little bit of self-correction going here. But when it comes to these enchanted cards, these are definitely a function of the game being so hard to come by. When it comes to secondary market of high chase cards, crazy things that are sought after, then this is a function of the fact that the boxes are hard to get. In a world where Ravensburger prints this product, let's call it into oblivion. I know, oh, that's such a buzz phrase for TCG enthusiasts, like printed into oblivion. Like, you just mean like anyone can get their hands on boxes for a little while, which for a brand new game that has a bunch of interest isn't necessarily a bad thing in my opinion. But if that were to happen, I definitely think we see the price of these coming down. That doesn't mean they go to zero, right? And if a box hits 150 bucks, some of these cards don't have to hold the value that they're at non-foil for people to justify opening the product, getting their money back, and feeling really good about their Lorcana experience. But these enchanted cards are definitely, in my opinion, a function of the boxes being hard to get, people buying things out, and kind of that, let's just call it what it is. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to give you guys a clip of a moment. It's Lorcana market manipulation. It's Lorcana market manipulation. I'm saying it right here in chat. It's all about Lorcana market manipulation. We're also seeing some good money being tied up in what we were talking about earlier, and I believe, let's see, who was talking about the competitive gameplay and the inability to get in and play competitively. James was talking about that. James Sorensen, shout out, was talking about the fact that some of these cards are really playable, and competitive play is driving some of these prices here. Some of these prices, as we see, are sitting into the $50 and $60 of just your legendary rarity cards. Some that, you know, aren't necessarily foiled, just kind of come out of the box. As I said, I pointed out the big stream hit, technically one of the cool cards that we opened was the Bell, if we can get the camera to not be afraid of the Disney card and focus. And that card right now is carrying a price tag of, as we see in the market, a $50 bill. That's a weird one, right? Because these cards will see a drop in percentage for sure. Don't get me wrong. But as cards become more readily available and deck strategies kind of find their way into the surface, we might see cards carry more of a premium, less of a premium, be more expensive, be less expensive. Heck, we have cards like this Lilo here, which is a rare, just selling at, you know, $21 just for a rare version of this card for 21 bucks. Like that, you could see something like that coming down, but people often say this is the best one drop in the entire game. So things like this are going to be hard to come by, and it's going to be an interesting space. Now, this is the most interesting part of all of this discussion, is we can look at the price of any of these things till we're blue in the face. But what matters more than the price is you and I spending our money on this? Do we want to buy this? We don't own game stores. We're just people sitting on the other side of the counter that like a card game. Are we spending our money on this? And as we can see with some of this product, like, the answer is unequivocally yes. This is 9/4 sales data, which if you're watching this live stream back in the future, first of all, everyone in chat, round of applause for the people that go back and watch the live stream. That's a wild thing that I couldn't imagine happening when I started this. But there's tons of people, there's hundreds of people, even sometimes upwards of 1,000 that go back and watch the live stream. We are buying these cards on the secondary market. This is all today as of the recording of the stream, and this rare is popping off for $20. It's not like this card is listed for $20. There's 3 sales listings, and we're hoping for the best. There's multiple pages just today of a rare selling for $20, and people probably extremely happy with their purchase. 1 copy, 2 copy, 3 copy, 4 copy, people filling out playsets and building decks. Like, this card likely does not sell as a function of speculation. And this, mind you, is TCG Enthusiast. This is TCG Player Sales data. This is sales from people already ingrained in trading card games, not even the community that Lorcana targets. Like, the numbers are staggering, and when you put it aside and you kind of put our biases where they belong for Lorcana in a box, and we don't listen to them, just the sell-through rate and things like that, it's just insane. Kaseki says, hey Josh, been here since reaction phase you have with Louis. Kaseki, thank you. Welcome. Long-term viewer, Kaseki. That was, wow, that was a throwback. Yeah, it says, Lorcana will either be a stable product with consistent prices or will be exactly like Pokemon when Louis denies it. Like, hey, no bashing the homie on this stream right here. The Inkwell says, Kaseki Necro, I think we should see a Mickey in every color, every set. The Inkwell, first of all, clearly a Lorcana channel if I ever saw one. If you're here and you like Lorcana content, and the Inkwell is actually a channel, make sure you check them out. Bradley Coast says that's high. Like, listen, those numbers are crazy. Scruffy says turn 1 Lilo into turn 2 Simba is the best play you can make in Lorcana right now. You're not lying. That play is OP. Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky, the game store by my house didn't get any, and bots bought them all from Walmart and Target. I will pay MSRP for booster packs, but won't buy singles for those prices. And listen, you don't have to. Make sure you check out the Pixelborn client. It is a great way to keep your interest and engagement up while Ravensburger works through some of the problems and gets the game into people's hands. And again, they are problems that must be worked through. but they are problems. They're worth being called problems. Bradley, a huge market. Again, Bradley, just spot on with I love it. MTG Gaming Bob responds to, yeah, there's probably a couple whales buying all the singles. I don't believe that. Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky, I don't believe that. They're buying at such random prices. The pricings here are not, and if you are not consistent, and if a whale was to, let's say, go through and buy all of these products today, which, you know, how many sales listings? We have this many sales listings at over $20 a piece. You don't control the market because it's a rare. I would think they would take that same amount of money and buy out all the enchanteds of a different value, right? That just doesn't make sense. But the singles of Disney Lorcana is something that's going to be interesting to watch. It's really cool to see cards like the Lilo, cards like Kuzku, you know, these rare cards holding this value. I don't expect that to be the case, but in the meantime, like, listen, Lorcana is worth playing at the casual and fun level, and because of that, I think this game does well long term. But let's talk about the long term of the game, because this is where it starts to matter. So let's just real quick show you guys. This is the Kuzco I'm looking at, and by the way, let's talk flavor. First of all, Kuzco here having, we can't see it because it's zoomed out, having no touchy, just great flavor. And every time my wife played the bird from Moana, I just threw my hands up and yelled, "Boat snack!" Because how funny is that line? Like, oh my gosh, guys, is the stream too big? Are you guys all just bashing and hammering TCG Player? Before you go, I have a poll. I have one more poll for you guys. I need everybody in chat. If you're in this chat, you have to answer this poll. I want to know, what is going to be the most iconic card in Disney Lorcana? Is it Mickey? Is it Elsa? Or is it something else I haven't thought of? I have to know. This is an important question. Like, this game, in my opinion, is going to go the long run. It's going to go the distance. I can go the distance. Sorry. This is the bad part of this stream. The bad part is I'm going to be tempted to sing Disney songs poorly a lot. Not great for this stream, not great for this channel. We need to make sure we correct that. What's going to be the iconic single? What's going to be the PSA 10 that people chase? If the game is lucky enough to make a little bit of a run, we are a couple of years down the road, what's going to be sought after? If you're in this stream right now, I need you to vote in this poll because I need to know what we feel as a community. I have my own thoughts. And it might shake things up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I got some thoughts on that. Let me know what you think the big chase is going to be. I'm going to let that poll marinate for a second, and I am going to pop back over and talk about, again, just some of these singles. I think it's really cool. Some of the art, like the original, some of this Mickey Mouse art is beautiful. I think this is it's a function of seeing the secondary market and the box being so hard to come by, but man, oh man, it is a wild time. The long-term vision of Lorcana, though, I think is where we see some of these hiccups start to happen and where we need to see problems corrected. In the future, for Disney Lorcana, you could tell me the story. You could, if anyone wants to, if you haven't voted on the poll yet, click to vote on the poll before we do this. But close your eyes and join me on a magical trading card game journey. You could tell me where Ravensburger is a bit too stubborn, and they decide, hey, guess what? We're not going to seal the next box. And we're not going to seal the box after that. And as the game grows in popularity, you have shady things going on with people weighing packs and maybe trying to scam people out of a booster pack here and there in a sealed box. So you see sealed cases begin to hold a premium. You also see the chase cards of these sets being, well, probably more readily available if they're easy to come by. If you don't have to search through all the packs to get the same number of chase cards, heck, they're going to be a little bit easier to come by. And you could tell me a world where they're too stubborn. They want to stand by their move not to seal that product. And because of that, it could be a weird place for people who like to store boxes on shelves, maybe open things down the road or sell things on the secondary market. And that would be interesting for trading card game enthusiasts. And because of this, Rudy's going to be out. And in this world, I think it's exciting to see how a new trading card game does without the massive online push of a group of like-minded people that are already pretty all in on the idea of trading card games and now new trading card games. The Rudy absence from Disney Lorcana adds an interesting wrinkle to the equation, and I think it becomes really fun to see how a game grows and how a community develops without a push from that already ingrained group of people. I often think that push is good. Let's look at Sorcery. No farther than the Sorcery trading card game. Heck, this push is massively positive. It got the game more backing. It shed light and put eyes on the coolest aspects of one of the up-and-coming trading card games, and that's neat. Flesh and Blood is no different. Rudy Nudge helped that game get off the ground, gain the traction that it has, and based on the well, let's just call it what it is, the poor performance of recent sets, it is living on some of those laurels and getting a second chance to get its feet under it. Much like it did with Fab 2.0, the ingrained and dedicated community are built from that little nudge at the beginning, and you can ride out some of the rockiness. And hey, that's a positive. But without that with Lorcana, man, oh man, it's going to be interesting to see these new consumers, these people that Disney Lorcana is targeting. They're going to be finicky, in my opinion. They haven't been around the trading card game space. They don't know the idea of like, oh, this always happens. This never happens. Price is high, price is low. We're not used to that. And when they're not used to that, they might be quick to the draw to jump on in and quick to the draw to get on out. This is going to be a wild ride. I'm excited to see how it goes. And I think Rudy not being involved makes this a very interesting time in this trading card game. But I have an important question to answer as I see your guys' chats popping off. I need to know, if you haven't voted the poll, vote now. I'm ending the poll in like 1 minute. I got to know what the most iconic card in Disney's Lorcana is going to be. The Inkwell says, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, we do Lorcana stuff. Heck yeah, you do. I love Lorcana content creators popping up. I love to see new channels being birthed. Hey, I was built off the back of an indie trading card game and my passion and love for that game and that community, so I am all in. Congratulations on starting your channel. That's sweet. I think Lorcana is a perfect mixture of TCG players, post-COVID investment bros, and Disney lovers jumping all in at once. Yeah, 360. That is the recipe for the coolest chili that I've ever heard when it comes to trading card game. Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky said, at least it shows people are actually interested. Okay, I see you. MTG Bob is I think it's worth nothing. This is the alpha Lorcana set. Hard to predict where the prices will go. If the game survives 10 plus years, I believe all these prices will seem cheap. Yes, but it's hard to be like, if the game makes it 10 years, like most games don't make it 10 years. I think Lorcana's got a shot. It definitely has a shot. We have to avoid a lot of mistakes. But yeah, anything like as it lasts 10 years. And that's another interesting, if you're going to break into the big three, right? I had a conversation about this today. It's not just how well you do, but it's how long you can sustain that growth. Like for everyone dunking on Magic and Wizards, I get so sick of everyone just constantly dunking on Wizards. Like, Magic's where it's at for a reason. Like, they clearly do things well and have clearly been doing things well since the beginning of time, it feels like. I know that's not the case. They've had their ups and downs, but because they've been vastly positive for so long, when you look at the big picture, they and Pokemon get to be where they are. Because they can aggro, it's time to dump metabolism, hop on Lorcana. It serves a greater threat to Pokemon and MetaZoo. I don't know if it serves a threat to MetaZoo. I don't know if MetaZoo needs a threat. I think MetaZoo might be in trouble. All right, so now the poll is over. It is time. Let's see what the chat thinks. If you haven't voted, I'm about to close it. 3, 2, 1. The poll has been closed. Let's take a look at these results. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, a pretty balanced poll, but a surprise. A surprise in the results. The dark horse coming through to catch the win. Mickey at 51%. 51% of the viewers on this stream think that Mickey is going to be the iconic card in Lorcana's history when it's all said and done. Elsa coming in at 31% and Other coming in at 15%. If you voted Other, let me know in chat. Let's check the prices on those cards right now, and we have a clear, overwhelming Goliath-type champion with Elsa. And, you know, in fairness, card's beautiful. Card's beautiful. Card's wonderful. However, I'm on the Mickey train. Like, listen, the Frozen hype is going to come and go. I'm on the Mickey train. I'm not on the other train. I'm an Aladdin fan and a Lion King fan. I watched this. My poor parents. Growing up, oh no, had to watch Aladdin and Lion King. Like, I was the kid that watched the same movie like 4 times a day. It was just craziness. So my poor parents had to deal with that. I think Mickey will always just stay the course. Mickey's going to stay the course. Mickey's going to be what it is. And again, it's not about gameplay, I don't think, with this card. It's not about which is the most played version of these cards. I think Mickey is the clear-cut winner here. But, you guys, again, says it's because we're older, even though I'm Gen Z. Oh, yeah, you're... well, listen, get off of my lawn. Yeah, get off my lawn. Bradley Go says it is. James says, so what about the last question I asked? James, can you repeat? James, let me ask this to everyone. Do you think they should do a rewards program like MTG used to do? Do you mean for the OP program? James, let me know. Do you mean for like the organized play program? Let me know. MTG Game Bob says, I think as more supply filters in the Disney parks and sort of the game will grow like crazy. Listen, I bet most people at Disney parks don't even know. Disney's got so much stuff going on. Like, yeah, people are going there to buy the product, and it's going to constantly sell out. But if you were to do a percentage of people at the Disney parks, like, hey, do you know about Lorcana? It's got to be a low percent, 15% maybe? Like, that's still a ton of consumers and a ton of enthusiasts, don't get me wrong. But Disney parks go so wide. Like, if I wasn't into trading card games, I could see myself going to Disney and have no idea this thing existed, and hey, collecting some pins for my troubles. Do you know what I mean? I could see that being a thing. Which Disney pins, this is opening me up to a whole world of Disney collectible. It's an insane space. So let me know what your question was. Mr. Happy says, but what's generically stronger in the game? I think gameplay will influence the price. I think to an extent, but remember, Black Lotus wasn't always the most powerful card. People wanted and coveted the Shivan Dragon. Actually, often Black Lotuses were tossed aside in favor of the Shivan freaking Dragon. And now 40 different Shivan Dragon versions later, which might be an understatement. How many Shivan Dragons do you guys think there are? 40 Shivan Dragon, like... oh my god, there's just pages. Oh, that's Shivan Devastator. Okay, so some of these are Shivan Hellkites, like, but like, you get my point, right? Like, yes, gameplay matters. I agree with you, but I don't know if that's going to be the deciding factor when it comes to the iconic card in Lorcana's future. Troy Dennis. Troy, I don't know if I've seen your name. Welcome to the stream. I think this game overall looks a ton more like Pokemon than it does like Magic. I think that's true. I think there's elements of both, and I think it's doing a good job of capturing the attention of people in multiple trading card game communities. James says alternate versions of the card for organized play. I think they might. Like, I definitely think they will. I think they will do promotions for coming out to play games, promotion for game stores. Is this a good space for like champion cards? I think you have to have them. Like, it's hard to drive people to organized play, especially your hardcore players, to like without some kind of grand prize. But I think there's going to be a lot of participation prizing. If I were to guess, if you were saying, hey, Josh, close your eyes, give me your Disney crystal ball, and what's the OP program going to look like? I'd say there's going to be a lot of like participation prizing, and a lot of just like, hey, bring a friend night and general like random die roller community champion things given out, because I think that does extremely well in this space. If I had to guess, again, just a guess, not any official statement by the company or anything like that. We're gonna begin to kind of wind down here, but I want to know from you guys. I want to know the final answer. The final poll, and this might be the most important one of the stream. I want to know if you think Lorcana makes it. I've had so many people in my community tell me in my chat that this game is not going to make it long term. It's not something people are going to want. It's all flippers. It's all resellers. It's not going to do a dang thing in the TCG community. I want to know, is Lorcana here to stay? Let me know. And as we begin to wind down the stream, I want to remind you one more time, if you've had fun, if you've enjoyed what we've done here, make sure to check out that link at the top of the chat. That gets you access to channel memberships, exclusive content, helps grow our community. It is how I am monetizing my channel. Listen, I'm a small community. I gotta buy coffee every Friday morning, and I got a 9 to 5, so that's what I'm doing, but I want to give you something for it. Cool custom emotes, channel badges, and exclusive content regarding my sales data, thoughts on trading card games, and anything else I decide to do with the community is all there. It's $5 a month at the base level entry, and that gets you access to everything. There's no different tiers, get you access to everything. No, $5 gets you freaking everything. But let's get down to brass tacks. This is the important question. I'll give you my thoughts about Lorcana, but is Lorcana here to stay? Now, Lorcana is going to have to do something that other trading card games struggle to do, and that's stick around for a long time, especially after an insane hype cycle. Any insane hype cycle with any kind of community, like a new trading card game community, kind of niche video game, whatever it might be, it's great for the game. It gets a ton of eyes on the game, but it also shines bright lights on any problems that gamer community might have, because the community will be so tight-knit. There will be a lot of belief, but that tight-knit community could deter people from coming in from the outside. And this is where Lorcana is going to shine, because it is such a wide game with a welcoming environment and something we're all so familiar with when it comes to things like Disney and Simba, Mufasa, Aladdin, Jasmine, things like that. I really think we might spur a little bit of that wildness we could see when it comes to coming in, bouncing off the tight-knit community, maybe not being as casual friendly as some of these other games. I really think Lorcana is going to excel here. But if you haven't clicked the poll yet, there's only 12 votes in the poll, the most important freaking poll of this stream. As we wind down here, if you haven't clicked the poll, I need your help. I need you. I need to know what this community thinks about Lorcana in the long term. And don't be afraid to be someone who says, no, listen, the voting is anonymous. You don't have to be afraid. Or you truly believe in this game. Again, smash that vote. Let me know what you think about Lorcana. I'm going to check out some of your guys' messages. I feel like these live streams are I have so much fun doing these. I want to do them more. This is some of the most fun I have on YouTube. I'll be completely honest with each and every one of you. But man, oh man, it does make me realize how much I talk. Do you guys think I talk too much? I might talk too much. Last little sip of caffeine as we get through the end of the stream. So, Troy Dennis says, I think this game overall looks a ton more like Pokemon. Oh, we talked about that. 7 million people go to Disney World Land, so there are many more eyes on TCG than any other. Like, listen, again, even 15% of that is a massive MTG gaming vibe. I see many of these cards dropping to 100 or even lower. If we're talking about the Enchanted, I don't know. I don't know if I see the Enchanted cards dropping to 100 or even lower. I do see the Enchanted cards coming back down to earth. I do see them getting harder to buy out. But I don't know about 100 or less. Like, hey, that would be a really interesting case study, and you better believe I'll be here on YouTube to talk about it when it happens. So again, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe, because otherwise channel doesn't grow. Like, listen, even if it doesn't grow, I'd still be here doing the exact same thing. I can't even front. So can you just sum up everything you have said so far? Just joining. Colin, welcome to the stream. The idea is that, like, listen, Ravensburger has made mistakes. That's happened. But Lorcana is not speaking to ingrained trading card game enthusiasts where those mistakes are most glaring. The idea of wayable packs, unsealed boxes, massive print run issues. These are problems that TCG hardcore people like you and I would find daunting, but Lorcana speaks to a different community. People are still playing the game. In fact, over 100,000 games being played every week on Pixelborn, and the love for the IP and the casual style of play and the idea of just gathering around and playing a game with the people you care about, being able to connect through cardboard, something that we've struggled to do in the past, is some strengths that Lorcana has that we can't overlook. So while these mistakes are worth talking about, these big wins cannot be just pushed aside. So I still want to bring the Dragon up in the comments, so it's Pauper. Yeah, maybe we get a Pauper community going with Lorcana, because, like, listen, in this, normally you don't have enough community or people in a community for niche gameplay modes, but in Lorcana we go wide enough, we definitely could. Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky, Disney is too big to feel. Now, remember, it's Ravensburger using Disney's IP, and we don't know the details of that license, but hey, Disney could pull the plug at any moment and just be like, and we respect, this doesn't make a difference in the revenue for Disney. This is all about Ravensburg. It doesn't make a difference in the revenue for Disney. Kaseki, they could just give a promo card for the season annual pass to be their biggest advertisement for Lorcana already. 100%. There's so many OP options. Kaseki, I agree. They're going to do something, but it's going to be so many different options. Troy says, I've been here a few times. I'm Demetrian and Louis. Oh, welcome. I should have shared this in the Kitchen Table TCG Discord. Whoops. I think I might have. I don't remember. Shivan Dragon thing blows my mind. My older brother bought a Shivan Dragon for $25 and didn't buy a Black Lotus. Like, listen, let's not ostracize people for bad Magic decisions. I've got a lot of Shocklands that have gone down in value a lot. Guys, I'm going to close the poll in 1 minute. Make sure you voted in the poll. Is Lorcana here to stay? I got to hear from each and every one of you. Mr. Happy Glow says, it's a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. Jam says, I'm going to keep playing as I think the game is amazing. It's hopeful that Ravensburg does something that stands out for qualifiers and Pro Tour settings. Like, listen, I don't know. I can't say what Ravensburger's going to do for like hardcore OP play or anything like that, but it's going to be interesting. But I don't think that's where the game shines. I really think it shines with the casual enthusiast and people looking to, as I say now, my new saying is connect through cardboard. It's something we have struggled to do. Like, it's hard to get your sister or your niece or your nephew or whatever to play Magic the Gathering with you. It's so much easier to connect through the medium of cardboard and spend that time with the people you care about when it comes to something like Disney Lorcana. And I think that's where this game honestly shines. I'm going to end the poll here. Let's see what you guys think. 90% of you think absolutely yes. Some of you think no, and like, listen, it's going to be fun as we get there to the bottom of this. D-Buck says, hey, D-Buck, what's going on? Oh, Magic Historian, one of the goats, one of the Magic the Gathering content goats is here. Historian, always a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by the channel. I appreciate everything you do for the Magic community, and as a Magic content creator, watching you all the time, it brings me such joy. So guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you check out the Historian. His channel is over here. You can click on his name, one of the OG goats. MTG Gaming Bob says, what do you think will happen for Lorcana if Ravensburger starts hosting high dollar tournaments? I think the community goes wide enough. Again, it seems like a cop-out, but the width of the community, the fact that there are so many enthusiasts across so many different levels of enjoyment, whether you're buying starter decks and playing at the kitchen table with your wife like I am, or if you're like James and you want the OP program and you're going hard and you want to go ham, like however you want to engage with the game, there's something for you. So if Ravensburger invests a bunch of money in high dollar tournaments, I think it does draw in a bit of a crowd, but I don't think it changes the game overall. I think casual fans and people who are looking to just play at their LGS don't feel the extra pressure, but maybe it adds a bit of depth for those like James that are really looking to sink their teeth in. Troy Daniels says, the Magic Story, good to see you here, Crotch Shield Man. All right, hey, like, if we're burning people on my stream, as long as it's not constantly me, I'm always in. James says, I opened a whole sealed case, no enchanted foil. So maybe that's an argument against the case hit conversation from earlier in the stream. D-Buck said they need to expand to other IPs they own, like Marvel and Star Wars. The sooner the better. That is an interesting conversation. If we have time, like, hey, if we're all still vibing and enjoying the stream, I'm down to talk about it. Should we keep going or should we end the stream? I'm down to talk about set 2, set 3. We've got some spoilers. We kind of feel what's coming next. Should we just get essentially a Star Wars trading card game? It'll be interesting to see. Magic Historian, that's a welcome I can get behind, dude. Always a pleasure to have you. D-Buck says, give Mickey a lightsaber. Now we're going universes beyond. If we're going freaking universes beyond with Lorcana, can you imagine? Again, we've gone on one journey this stream. Let's go on a second journey as we close our eyes. And we fantasize about Mickey just walking through the dark. Hold on, wait, let's pick our Mickey. Ready? Let's pick our Mickey, chat. It's gotta be Mickey Mouse Artful Rogue, right? Mickey Mouse Artful Rogue appears from the shadows and you see it just slices people in half. I cannot imagine a world where that happens, but God, I would be in. Blue Controller says, keep going. Like, listen, If we want to, I have Lorcana sales data. We're at 46 viewers. Do you think we can get, if we can get to 50 concurrent viewers, I'm going to do a Lorcana sales video, and spoiler alert, Lorcana is outselling a major TCG release right now. I have every single sold listing of Lorcana in a data sheet, and I've done all this data visualization. Do we want to take a look at that? If we get over 50 viewers, like, do you think we should go there? What do you guys think? Is that something that you'd be interested in, or is that like snooze fest for you? You guys not like the numbers as much as I do? James Sorensen says, keep going, dude, I am down. Keith Foster says, the Magic historian is way younger than me. I graduated high school in 1976. Listen, you're making my back hurt. You guys are making my back hurt. Stop. Like, I'm sitting, I have the nice Marcus from IKEA. I've owned this chair for like 8 years now. This chair is as long as my relationship. Stop ruining my back pain. James says, keep going. MTG Game says, keep going. I want to talk about the second announcement, reprints October and Q1. How can they get more out of the printers? Okay, let's talk about some reprints. That's good. Talking about making people connect to the other IPs will help. Yes. All right. It's time. You know what? In fairness, I was planning on calling it, but me. I'm willing to keep going. Like, listen, if we're having fun, I don't have to stop. There's no quit in this YouTuber. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it riding. And let's talk about the reprint. So we know in October, according to Ravensburger's tweet, and before we go any farther, let's see if I can go on Twitter. And don't call it X. I'm not, if you're going to call it X, well, it's not here. Ravensburger. Let's find Ravensburger and let's find Disney Lorcana, Lorcana HQ. Disney Lorcana. Let's go to the Disney Lorcana Twitter and let's talk about reprinting the set, and let's talk about how this is going to go. Let's see. All right, I got my Twitter pulled up. I have Disney Lorcana here. Random MLB tweet. We will share an update when the store is back online. Oh, that's another thing. Ravensburger, the store directly sold Lorcana to consumers, and I don't know how I feel about that. I got to be honest with you. So wait, is this Disney Lorcana just not used? Is this Twitter just not used? Lorcana HQ, unofficial Disney Lorcana Trading. This is the unofficial one. This is the one run by fans. It's got to have something in it, right? August 29th. Like, wait, where's the news? Unofficial Disney news and memes. Like, where's the news? Somebody, if you can post links, post a link to the tweet in the news. Where did Ravensburger announce that they were going to, like, what is going on here? Wait, okay, fail. Ravensburger, you get another fail. You're getting a lot of fails today. Why is that not there? Let's talk about this reprint. Reprint coming in October, and this reprint that's hitting in October is going to be so meaningful. But it is coming on the back of a lot of TCGs printing a lot of cardboard. And with Lord of the Rings, the re-release, special anniversary, awesome, amazing, uber, collector, new card, but also reprint, but fun, I don't even know edition, and I could go on, but like, listen, you guys get the meme at this point. I think there's a lot of printer space that's been tied up. And with Ravensburger being a new player, a new introducer, a new player in the community, do they get the option to allocate some of that printer space for themselves? Can they pay a fee and get the limited space that's available and get enough product out to the community? Now, I'm skeptical about this. I'm skeptical about the second reprint. And again, as we said at the start of the stream, I think it gets worse before it gets better. I think it gets worse before it gets better. And let's find this announcement. Someone says Google second printing of Lorcana. And yes, for those of you that know, I do use Edge. I don't use Chrome. I use Edge because Edge is now built on Chromium, and I don't need to. Let's catch up with does Disney owns the rights to Kingdom Hearts? We Googled this for the podcast. Yes, they do. Mr. M, I'm interested in seeing the sales data. Mr. M, maybe we'll show it for you at the end of the stream because you deserve it. Magic Historian has been an awesome extended stream, my man. I must be off for now. Until next time, keep killing it. You, my friend, keep killing it. Keep leading the way for all of us creators out there. Thank you so much for hanging out. Troy, wait, Blue Controller, I think that Disney does own Kingdom Hearts. Kazeki Necro, is it Crew all over again? I think it is much different. Much different. All right. We have Ravensburger to boost production on Disney Lorcana to meet market demands. Let's see if we can pull this up. Ravensburger to boost production on Disney Lorcana to meet market demands. In the post on their social media today, Ravensburger announced it will be increasing production on Disney Lorcana booster packs to meet the extremely high demand of the new collectible trading card game. This is the quote: Disney Lorcana TCG fans want to share the steps we've been working on to get more product in the market demand. Our goal is for fans to be able to purchase and enjoy Disney Lorcana TCG at the suggested retail price. That, at the suggested retail price, is massive. Like, we should not be paying extra for this. At the suggested retail price, people. Our goal is for fans to be able to purchase and enjoy the Disney Lorcana TCG at just retail price. We will continue to take steps to ensure a level of availability and quality that keeps the market healthy for both collectors and players. Spoiler alert, it's healthy. The card bends just fine. Additional booster product will be available in North American local game stores in October. In October, not October 1st, not October 2nd, not October 3rd. In October. Does that mean Halloween? Am I getting this on Halloween? Do I have to endure $900 boxes until Halloween? What are we doing? I want more info. We are also reprinting Disney Lorcana. The first chapter will be available starting in Q1 of 2024 in North America and Europe. This statement right here should not alarm TCG enthusiasts. I know. Listen, everybody. Let's take a moment. Hold on, let's take a moment. They used the word reprint, and I know a lot of us are Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering fans. I don't want the word reprint to scare you. And this is not a bad thing. When we reprint something that's actually needed, this is a massive positive. In fact, often Wizards of the Coast reprints things like they're going to do with Lord of the Rings Draft and Set, and that is a huge win. That's a good thing. So let's not get too hung up on that word. Okay. So they are looking to get cards into people's hands, and they're targeting October. Listen, is October too late? I don't think so. I don't think October is too late. I think October is a good time. So what do we have here? Ooh, woo, just pulled a Sparkly Confetti Anime Full Monty Smothering Tithe. Let's go, Yoko. Happy. Is it your birthday? If it's actually your birthday, happy birthday to Yoko. Can we get a happy birthday to Yoko in the chat? So this reprint that's coming in October is it's a massive positive in my opinion. This is a big win when you talk about this reprint and the idea of getting products into people's hands. I think we need this. I mean, heck, we just did it, right? We just looked at the first chapter. We went high to low. Like, there's a reason we need this to be reprinted. Like, this box is going crazy. This is not an acceptable price for this box. This does not speak to its target audience. In fact, this box has gone up $3 since we started the stream. What do you want me to do with that? The box went up $3 in price since we started the freaking stream. And let's couple that, like, okay, oh, the box is expensive, no one's buying it. Like, spoiler alert, yes they are. They're buying this at insane prices. They're buying this box at just wild prices. It's a needed reprint. I wish it was coming sooner, but I also understand, like, hey, it can't necessarily be here sooner. Right? It can't just, we can't just snap our fingers and have cards. There's a printing process. There's fighting for printer space. There's paying for that stuff and getting contracts in place. Like, as much as we want to be like, oh, look, it's reprinted. Like, that's not how that works. And it's okay that that's not how that works. But in fairness, that's just not how that works. So the October reprint is great. The fact that Chapter 2 is going to drop and we'll have 2 products to choose from means that this TCG is going to jump through some hoops right away. This is going to be an extremely exciting time to be anyone following Lorcana. And because you guys were so awesome, because you guys were so great, as we close the stream here, I'm going to show you what the Lorcana sales data looks like. That's right. As of today, before the stream, I finished tracking every single sold listing up till that point on TCG Player of Lorcana when it comes to the booster case, the booster box, the Illumineers Trove, and the gift set. I'm tracking all of those boxes, and I have that data, and we are going to go over that right here on the stream. Now, if you're not, this is what you have to do for me. You have to listen to me talk about channel memberships one more time, because it's stuff like that that supports this project, helps me build the web server. So you have to at least consider clicking that link for $5 a month, and you also have to subscribe, because I'm going to do a video about this week. And if I burn this content right now, I'm going to be so sad and get no stuff. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you have to subscribe, because I'm going to show this to you, and you have to at least listen to me one more time and consider the channel membership link. But without further ado, because you guys have been pretty sweet homies, like, this has been an amazing live stream, better than I could have imagined for a scuffed random setup on a Monday night. I think you've earned this. Let's talk sales data for Disney's Lorcana. And while we do this, the stream wasn't set up for this. I wasn't going to do this. So let's do a little bit of shaking and bacon here. Let's resize some of this information, pull this in, make sure we have a full view. We have the backup in case this crashes, as you can see here. So let's find browser 2. Let's blow this up and look at Disney Lorcana sales data. Now, we're not done here, because actually I'm going to have to resize that, because I have... That's right. That's right. Y'all see that down there? Y'all see what that is? That's sales trends on those individual products. I'm so proud of this information. I'm going to cover my logo. That's right. Let's talk Disney Lorcana sales data. Now, when it comes to the popular TCG Disney Lorcana, the first chapter, we have tracked every single sold listing of sealed product for the products we mentioned earlier on TCG Player. And it's a wild, wild west of a secondary market, if you will. And this product is popping off. As we can see in the top right corner, or top left corner, for those of you looking, there has been 4,626 boxes sold on TCG Player, which is currently, and don't tell anybody because this is content for later this week, outselling Wilds of Eldraine when it comes to draft set and collector. Lorcana's outselling Wilds of Eldraine right now. It's the wild, wild west. It's something I never could have imagined happening. But we see that the booster box, yeah, that product that is going crazy in price, is the leader, is the champion of this expedition, with 52% of every box that flies out of TCG Player is a booster box. It's not an Illuminator's Trove, it's not a gift set, it's a freaking booster box. People are spending a ton of money on this box. We see there's 2,400 single booster boxes sold. There's 1,067 troves and 592 gift sets. And that's where your grandma, your aunt, and your uncle, and your mom and your dad are coming in play. And they're like, hey, oh, gift set? That looks neat. I'll buy a gift set for my little Timmy, little Tommy. Now, we see the price hike of the booster box showing its ugly face, as 52% of all the products sold are booster boxes, but 62% to 64%, wow, 64, numbers are hard, 64% of every dollar spent is spent on a booster box. It's crazy. And we see, if we take a look on the bottom here to these graphs, going left to right, we have the booster box, the trove, and the gift bundle, and the sales trends for what this Disney Lorcana is doing. Now, we have those raw numbers here over on the side, but we have the actual visualization of the trend here across the bottom, and we see this massive spike. And guess when that massive spike is? If you guess September 1st, when Lorcana hype hit another high, when people are like, oh, September 1st, it's at Walmart. Oh, I couldn't get my box at Walmart. Guess I'll go to TCG Player. That is the spot. When people realized, when they went to secondary market and big box stores and they still couldn't get product, they're like, listen, I got to bite the bullet. I got to buy it on TCG Player. And they did. That day, there was almost 300 boxes sold just that day. Now, with every TCG post-release, we're seeing a bit of a regression to the mean, and, you know, interest is waning. But as we hit October, I'm going to be interested to see what this data does. I think it's going to pump again in October, but we will see. Let's take a look. D-Buck says, Josh, what's Disney-owned IP would you like to see them crossover with? Spoiler alert. I'm not going to tell you what I do want to see. I'll tell you what I don't want to see. I actually don't want to see Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan too. Like, don't shoot me. I think Disney Lorcana, the way it feels, the current vibe, and then you add Star Wars in there, like, listen, that's, I don't know. And I know I'm a Star Wars fan, like, ugh. Poke Hoarder said I bought one yesterday for $228. That's a great price. Poke right now, it's a good price. D-Bucks, can't wait to open Lorcana with my kids, but I'm waiting. Yes, You can wait for, if your experience is that looking for your kids, like I did, playing games with my wife, whatever it is, you can wait for chapter 2, the second chapter. You can wait for the next set. You can buy some starter decks. You can play that way. And like, hey, starter decks do the thing that I love the most. There's a pack in there. So like, you get the feeling of opening and playing with cards, and you get that next step of the trading card game community, which is cracking packs and opening some sweet cardboard. Yoko says, exactly when I sold mine for $4.19 that Friday evening. Oh man. Kaseki said, thanks. I think I'm going to collect those adventure cards from Wilds of Eldraine now. Listen, those cards are amazing. Happy Go Lucky said, I think it's too early for Star Wars. I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the most exciting stream that I've had, aside from, it's not the most exciting, like Friday Morning Magic is always exciting. It's been another exciting stream. It's been the most exciting stream I've had on a Monday night in a long time. I can't believe you guys all tuned in. Thank you so much for hanging out. Your contribution to the viewership, hitting the like button, engaging with the chat, having these fun conversations with me is the reason that like some of this is so fun. So those of you that have been around, if you just jumped in, if you were here for the minute, popped in and out, whatever it was, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you again. Big shout out one more time for Nick. The coffee from this stream was actually, the caffeine from the stream was sponsored by Nick for his $5 donation at Friday Morning Magic last Friday, and then he smashed the channel membership button. So shout out to Nick for crushing it and always helping support the channel. Thank you so much. And to MTG Gaming Bob, who donated the $10 to challenge me to a Lorcana. I'm going to do my best to get that game on the books. Make sure, again, reach out to me. We've talked before. Make sure to reach out to my email. Let's see if we can't get something on the books this month or next so we can play a game. If you've joined here for any reason, thank you. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. To each and every one of you, if you give me a good night, I'll try to give you a good night back in chat as we wind down. But thanks for hanging out, and until next time, you all know me. My name is Josh, and we'll see you on the next live stream. D-Buck, good night. MTG Gaming Bob, I'm still waiting on... Whoa, my pre-order to get filled. Wow, that's a big pre-order. James, welcome. Thank you, James. It's been awesome. Good night. Happy go lucky. Good night. Yoko be loco. GG. And I'm sure, you know, if you have the time, we'll see you on Friday. Keith Foster, good night to everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll see you around. Goodbye.